when you're going to choose something, and it can be tiny or huge, you want to ask yourself, if I choose this, what will this create? What we're doing when we look at money or have these conversations with access consciousness tools is we're changing the foundation that has been creating this looping over and over in your life. The need for money pushes it away, but this particular thing starts working to shift any place in which you've associated heaviness with money, stress around money, wrongness, all this sort of stuff. It starts to shift and change it really dynamically. Think of money as you for a moment. What do you do when somebody really needs you? Where they're like, okay, call me. Okay, please call. Okay, you haven't called. It's been 5 minutes. Why didn't you call? Hi, 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 hi. What do you do? Hi, hi. What does money do? The same thing you would do. Run the other fucking direction. Money wants to come to money has consciousness, okay? Everything has consciousness. Money wants to come to somebody who enjoys it, appreciates it, who's going to do wonderful things with it. You'll see what some of the billionaires, quote unquote, or some really wealthy people do that seem so unkind, abusive, whatever you want to do. And you think if you have money, you're going to be one of those people. No, you're never going to be one of those people because you're not one of those people. Okay. So there's a way in which if you have enough money, you don't have to be. Okay. There's a lot of really wealthy people who never desire to explore more of themselves, more personal development, more personal growth until they have a major disaster. And then they will. Why? Because the way this reality is set up is money gives you the freedom to not have to be, gives you the freedom to not have to explore being. Everybody decided that if you were really rich, you'd be an asshole. Would you really? Or would you actually do really wonderful, amazing things with it that contributed to everybody? And just from that perspective, would you be willing to consider allowing this to change so you can have money? We have this conversation. You can feel it bringing up stuff, but you don't know what it is. And then I ask, will you destroy and uncreate it? And it goes back to the point of creation and helps it dissolve. So what we're doing when we look at money or have these conversations with access consciousness tools is we're changing the foundation that has been creating this looping over and over in your life. The need for money pushes it away. Because a lot of people have need for money, and it's the one thing that will stress them out more than anything else. And here's the weird part. People with a lot of money don't have that to stress them out, so they'll create shitty relationships or a sick body. Just like choose your poison is this reality's point of view, basically. What limitation with money are you using to hide the truth of you? What most people have as their point of view, if they have limited money, they think it's happening from the outside to them, or there's something they're not capable of. If you recognize, no, I'm creating it this way so I don't have to be as miraculous as I am, so I don't have to show up, so I don't have to be responsible, so I don't have to be what. Notice our whole conversation. I'm creating limited money so I don't have to be. So what are you creating limited money so you don't have to be? In other words, what am I choosing not to be by creating limited money? But it works better the other way. What are you creating limited money so you don't have to be? Imagine if you and we were all multimillionaires and could just be like, hey, we're people with a lot of money who are also exploring our being. In fact, the way we created this money was from being. And guess what? And could you imagine if you saw a bunch of conscious multimillionaires? How many more people would want consciousness? There's so many more things to explore. Like literally, money follows joy. So I'm going to give you 3 really simple, maybe 4, maybe 20, really simple things to do. Number 1, every day ask universe, show me something beautiful and miraculous, please. And the reason I don't put money in the word there is because if you'll notice, if you add money to it, you're going to make it significant. And then you're going to start trying to predict how that miracle should show up, which kills the miracles. So universe, show me something beautiful and show me miracles today. Okay. Now that starts changing the energy of your being, because when you're willing to be more, you receive more. Why? Because you don't put up walls and barriers, because you don't have to try to protect yourself from the world. When you don't have to try to protect yourself from the world, stuff can get in because there's not all these walls keeping it out. That's pretty cool, eh? Next, you want to put 10% of every dollar that comes in. You can start with 5% if you need to. but every dollar that comes in goes to a 10% account or under your bed or wherever as an honoring of you, and don't spend it. Okay? And if you do, you will accumulate money. And once you get to a certain amount, your stress around money will go away because you'll know you have money. It was one of the biggest things that changed my financial reality. Okay. Number three, every single day, do something that puts a smile on your face. I don't care what it is, anything that makes you happier for even a moment. Even if it's like you love your coffee in the morning, just take 5 minutes and enjoy it just because you can. Okay. Money follows joy for us, the seekers of the world. So I need to make another distinction here. For you guys that are watching this, the rules of this reality to create money do not apply to you, which is why it has not been working. If you can get this, like, the Bezoses of the world and the Musks of the world, they're doing something different that a lot of you would not want to do or be. It's also because that's not really a thing that will work for you. The rules of this reality do not apply. So you're going to have to go to some rules beyond this reality that are not really rules. They're more like awarenesses of what will actually work. And that is more what we're going to be able to explore in the Being You Changing the World class that I'm looking forward to very much, because the realization being over the past several years, so many of the seekers of the world have had more trouble. Well, the whole world has had more trouble with money in a lot of ways, or more stress around it. And that's the other thing. The fourth thing, I think it was fourth, was every single day you want to go, okay, how much of all of this is not actually mine? How much of this am I just aware of in the world? I've watched as what has happened over the last several years. And I've also been looking for a very long time of how do we get people beyond it in a way that will actually work. This is one of the first times I've been able to put it in this way, this succinctly. The rules of money of this reality do not apply to you seekers. The other people can do that thing of making it all about the money, but truth, does that really work for you? If not, we're going to explore something different. I say again, people have decided it is this, and I just need to fix this, and I need to solve this. And I had done that too with money for a long time, and I realized it's not. Like, even over the past 5 years, it's like there's so much of these things that looked real, whatever. And I was like, wow, where did all this come from? I finally realized it came from everything I was aware of around me that felt so real that I made it real. When you ask for something, when you're going to choose something, and it can be tiny or huge, you want to ask yourself, if I choose this, what will this create? And don't try to get a picture of it or define it. Just, will it make my life more like this or more like this? Or if you want to try to get your mind out of it more, you can go, if I choose this, what will my life be like in 5 years? Will it be more like this or more like this? Do me a favor, please. Ask that question for any choice, even the small choices, and just be with it for a moment. If I choose this, what will this create? It'll be like, and it may take you asking that question a few hundred times, but it's one of the greatest questions you can ask, because it gets you out of choosing things that contract. Because the reason our lives are so contracted is because we make choices for that, because it has a basis in our past and it makes us feel comfortable to choose to be as contracted. And so if you would like a lighter life, and that's where the money shows up with more ease, is choose more choices that make you go like this. Use that as your guide for choice, not the judgment system and I don't have the money. What will my life be like in 5 years? Will it do
Yeah.
this? Will it do this? And
Mm.
and then choose. One of the greatest things you can do is choose and know that you're choosing. Choice is one of the most empowering things there is. Yes or
True.
no, but acknowledge that you're choosing it. Don't say, oh, I would, but the world won't let me. What if there's no such thing as a wrong choice? So I wanted to present this different energetic world, because I know as people start exploring it, they will find the way to something different. And so that is also part of why I wanted to do this live, because I want people to know the rules that apply to money in this reality, they don't, the rules that got, the structures that got a lot of people their money won't work for you, but there are some that are actually beyond that and sustainable that will work for you like a friggin' charm. What if you truly being you, having ease, joy, and glory with money are the gift, the change, and the possibility this world requires?